Jackson, Cartwright, threw it in. Here comes Cheatham, throwing it down with two hands.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by the number 5, because that is the number that the New Zealand Breakers must win by today to secure 4th spot on the ladder. Unfathomable that at round 10, when they were 4 and 9, that we're talking about them potentially finishing inside the top 4. Hello and welcome to the Adelaide Entertainment Centre for the final game of the NBL24 regular season. The 36ers playing host to the Breakers. Derek Rucker alongside me, D-Ruck. We just saw the ladder. The destiny of New Zealand sits in the palm of their hands right now.
It certainly does, and this coaching staff deserves a lot of credit for bringing this team back from a 4-9 record to be playing today, Jack, a Sunday in the city of churches for a chance to finish 4th. As you said, if they win by 4 or more, they will get a top 4 position, and that would be a fantastic achievement.
And what an achievement it's been for Modi Mayor. The season was just about dead and buried in that early stage of the season, but they have turned things around in Brisbane on Friday night, an emotional night. Tom Abercrombie may be playing in front of his Auckland fans for the very last time, but it was so evident watching this game, Ruck, that this is a group that is together right now.
They are, and you can see the cohesion and the energy and the positivity around this group. And I guess it's only fitting that Tom Abercrombie got to drive that ship the other night and hit a big shot at the buzzer. He also was just there to provide that leadership in assisting that bench group and coming in with a decisive victory over the Brisbane Bullets to basically end Brisbane season.
What about that resume as well? 426 games he's not done with yet, and he's going to get at least one more, potentially two, considering how things might shape up for the back end of this season, and still playing really good basketball as well, Tom Abercrombie. Speaking of playing really good basketball, your man Parker Jackson Cartwright, you have been talking about him all season long. Top 10 in the competition for points, steals, and assists. He's been phenomenal.
Well, he was great that game in Auckland the other night, 27 points. And Jack, we've seen him be virtually unstoppable over the last 3 months of the season. He's so quick. He's lightning with the basketball. He's starting to add the three-point shot to his game. His perimeter mid-range play is solid, and he also can play away from the ball, which strengthens his team by allowing Will McDowell-White and Isaiah Leapa to come in there and run the show every now and then. But right now, he's an all-NBL first-team candidate. In fact, I've got him on my first team. He's one of the best players in the competition.
I think you'll find there's a lot of people that have got him locked into their all-NBL first team, and we'll find that all out tomorrow night at the Gazeys. So that's the story for New Zealand. For Adelaide, their season is done in terms of postseason action, but all of the attention right now is about who will be coaching the 36ers in the NBL25 season. Well, if you want to know something in Adelaide, you go to the number 1, John Casey, Mr. 1000 and however many now, and still going strong. Case, good afternoon.
Thanks very much, Jack. Great to have you and D-Ruck in the house, and good afternoon, everyone, as well. There is breaking news around the position of the head coach of the Adelaide 36ers, and obviously today's result's going to play into that. In front of a 7th consecutive sellout crowd, Adelaide are chasing a 5th straight home win. It would make their record on the season 9-5, which is 3rd best in the competition, and Adelaide's best home streak since they last made the playoffs in the 2018 Grand Final. Now, a short time ago, I interviewed the executive chairman and owner of the Adelaide 36ers, Mr. Grant Kelly, at a function, and his words were that the interim coach of the Adelaide 36ers, Scott Ninnis, they are heavily thinking that he is going to become the head coach in 2025.
Well, this is an interesting situation because Scott Ninnis has done an outstanding job, Jack. He's rescued this team's season. He's provided respectability around the league. The team looks more united. They're performing at a higher level. He's also had to withstand all types of rumors over this second half of the season about the potential coaching candidates, from Brian Goorjian to Trevor Gleeson. No slouches. He could very easily have lost his sense of security in coaching this team, but he's stayed strong. We'll talk more about our discussions with him pregame, but I really like what he's done, and you can feel the fiber, the strength in the Adelaide basketball community, knowing that that man right there is at the helm.
There is a buzz in the venue, no doubt about it, at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. Even though the 36ers can't make it to the postseason, there's their starting five. Some good opportunity for Kyron Galloway and Nick Marshall, who's going to be part of the Boomers team next week as well. So the youngsters getting a look straight up.
And it's interesting, we've got Jason Kadee in the starting lineup. Only a few weeks ago, he was considered persona non grata. He gets to start the final game of the season. He's played outstanding basketball to close the season out. And for the Breakers, that's a strong starting lineup. They've dealt with the disheartening blow of losing Anthony Lamb to that Achilles rupture. But make no mistake, Jack, this team still has deep playoff penetration possibilities. They can play very good basketball. It starts right here.
If New Zealand win by 5 or more, they will finish 4th. If they win by 5 or less, they will finish 5th and host Sydney. And if they lose, well, they'll finish 6th and be away for the play-in. That's how important this game is for the Breakers. Our officials this afternoon, Nico Fernandez, Jackie Dover, and James Grigol. Back up top for Vasiljevic. 28 points against Brisbane last week. It's been a huge scoring threat since he's joined Adelaide, but that was a tough one first up. He thought he was fouled.
Right away, New Zealand are playing very aggressive defensively on the on-balls, not allowing these Adelaide ball handlers any space, going out showing early and even in slight trap.
It's the Vicious for 3. His first look off target. 45% three-point shooter across the season. Top 3 in the NBL in that stat. Vasiljevic drives off balance. Modi Mayor, right in front of us, is already barking instructions to this group. He's silent Cheatham. We're starting to see his best. Blocked by Galloway.
Wow, tremendous athleticism from Galloway. We probably expected more of that this season.
Kadee had it, lost it, went back and got it again. Now Humphries draws an early foul. Oh, Matty Yang points won't count.
Somewhat of a soft call right here, but we saw Cheatham go to his favorite spin move. And Galloway, quick up off the deck, long arms. Those Galloway boys got some athleticism.
Do they ever? Kyron Galloway's had some extended opportunities at the back end of the season and is repaying the faith. Jackson Cartwright snatches that out of the hands of Kadee.
Very underrated defensive player. Jackson Cartwright gives outstanding effort, pesky with his hands. He almost caught Kadee napping there with the ball.
Guys, I've still got it.
Wait a second. 10 seconds on the shot clock.
Adelaide at home today. 8-5 home record across the season. 3rd best in the competition. They won their last 4 in this very venue. We talk about that spark that's come back to this team, and the supporters are flocking in their droves, and they're loving what Isaac Humphries is doing. Big man can't put it in. Kadee eventually with the left hand, and we're away.
Nice finish there from Kadee, just hanging around the lane. Got a crumb, knew how to put it away.
Dow White, little floater for Cheatham. He comes up short. Play is normally there all afternoon for the Breakers. He thought he was fouled. Mauled by Cheatham. And then dives on the loose ball. Early desperation from both teams.
And Mathiang was all over that one. Kadee here, and Mathiang goes up and spikes it. Good hustle over there.
Let go.
A couple of minutes gone.
Ooh.
And that is going to be costly for New Zealand because that will be Mango Mathiang's 2nd foul.
Modi Mayor in front of us. He's flabbergasted. Feels like the contact was straight through the middle of his chest. Mathiang making it quite clear that he's here all day.
Not at the moment, he's got 2 fouls. Rebounds Island Cheatham. So Dane Pinot into the game early. Foul.
So we're aware that the guys' whistles are working. The guys need to be very careful defending because it's a quick whistle today, Jack. Now the players have to adjust given what they've seen in the first 2.5 minutes of this game.
Cheatham thought about the three. Just to get busy on Galloway. Now moves to Vicious. This time, bottom of the net.
Too much space given there by Vasiljevic. You got to play that guy tighter, not allow him to get into the catch and shoot rhythm. And then we talk about it, Cartwright. Always good ball pressure and energy. Watch there, that's just too much space. You might say, yeah, but he got a hand up. To an elite shooter, that is not a hand.
Last 7 games, he's been 11 of 21 from outside. The Lithuanian next up. Vasiljevic goes to work, and Hunter's got a piece of that one too. Getting it done at both ends. McDowell White's pass chopped off. Galloway in the open floor, drives and scores.
And that's the potential right there on that play. He's in the lane, able to intercept that errant pass by McDowell White, and then able to go coast to coast with a smooth athletic finish.
Another big crowd at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. They love that. Great look for McDowell White. Breakers 1 of 7 to start the afternoon from the field. Adelaide 2 of 10, so the team's taking a little while to settle. Shot clock into single figures, miscommunication. Jackson Cartwright comes up with it and lays it in.
Bit of a pesky game at the moment. Teams trying to feel themselves out. A lot of defensive energy. Marshall lets one fly from the corner. Catch and shoot. That's right in his alley. Great start for the youngster. Knocks down that corner 3.
He'll be wearing the green and gold next week. Does Australia have a couple of games to be played during this FIBA window? One here in Bendigo in country Victoria, and then I'll head to Jakarta after that. Pinot on the offensive glass. Couldn't drag that in, and that'll be a Breakers ball.
The Adelaide Entertainment Center, Jack, as we see Galloway bringing the faithful to their feet. But what a beautiful venue this is. Not only from a spectator's point of view, but to play well lit, nice rims. Great place.
Arthur something in the game, rattles out his first look. And 5 minutes to play in this opening turn. The Breakers must win by 5 or more to finish 4th at the end of the regular season. And Kyron Galloway is causing some problems.
He is, and that Breakers defense is being subjected to dribble penetration. Not something that would make the coaching staff very happy. They got to keep that ball out of the paint, especially with Matt Yang in foul trouble. Parker, PJC gets on the rim. He's always got a great sense of when to attack and when his team just needs a bit of energy, whether it's on the defensive end or in this case, he's attacking the rim, trying to get some free throws.
Speaking of energy, Jacob Wiley checking in. Isaac Humphries comes out. Jason Kadee out as well. Mitch McCarron in for what potentially could be his last game as an Adelaide 36er, out of contract at the end of the season.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. So many moving parts here in Adelaide with the uncertainty around the coaching position, as we discussed in the opener. And you would hope that they get that coaching situation sorted this week just to provide some clarity prior to entering the free agency period. So not only your own guys have some idea what's going on, but also potential free agent recruits.
As Case told us off the top, there is a lot to play out very soon for Adelaide. Nice finish from Marshall.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a change in defensive strategy from Montemayor. Too much at the basket.
Jackson Cartwright with a hand in the face. Deep 3. He started well again. There's 7 points of the Breakers, 10. He looks in one of those moods. Galloway down the line. He's fouled by Pinot. See, Scottie Pippen was in town yesterday.
I did. I saw Damon Lowry spending a lot of quality time with him. Pip did a good job of sharing so much, because imagine how many questions he gets asked about that. And we're talking decades now of questions and having to show up and put on that proper face, but he does a fantastic job, and great to see him out here again, twice in one season.
He's brought a mate with him this time as well, Horace Grant. Luke Longley, the Noble Tour. There are still some tickets available. That crossover from Jackson Cartwright.
Wicked. And the danger for New Zealand, they're all aware of that magic number of 5. But you don't want to lose sight of winning the game.
So, but how hard is that? When you know that you have to win and there's an equation.
Sometimes you can speed yourself up, losing track of how you win a game by 5. You don't have to win by 5 right away. Just play this game out per usual as Jackson Cartwright continues his assault. He's destroying the 36ers like he's been doing the rest of the competition over the past 2 months.
27 on Friday night. And he's got 9 already in the first quarter. Galloway seems to be a priority on the offensive end. McCarron back out for Wiley. His first look is no good. That's on a turnover for the Breakers.
Let's go. Let's go.
So he's a lock for your All-NBL first team, Parker Jackson Cartwright?
I have him in mind. Obviously with Bryce Cotton, Chris Golding. The other 2 are tough. The other 2 are real tough.
What do you do with the last 2?
And I'm going to say one that's going to rock a few minds and create a little controversy. I've got Keanu Pender.
That will create some controversy. Just saw John Casey from the other side of the court. He nearly swallowed the microphone when you said that.
Relax. Face.
Hashtag NBL24, leave your thoughts. We'll find out tomorrow night at the Gazies. 12 apiece. Vasiljevic 0 of 4 in his first term. He wants to find one in the bottom of the net. That'll do it.
Wow. 80% skill, 20% luck. Good finish there from DJ to get himself going.
36ers take that lead back. Wiley with the rebound, and Adelaide under Scott Ninnis have wanted to do exactly this, push the ball and get reward for effort. Sunday Dech couldn't score, but it's been more positive, it's been more proactive. And basket won't count.
Wow, it's always tough when you see a little man get a pushing foul like that in the open court. I think there's a very good call by Jackie Dover. Unnecessary action from PJC. I thought he had him beat. Desh's momentum probably would have taken him away where there would have been clearance for PJC to elevate, but he couldn't resist that urge.
Let's get over to Case.
Thanks, Jack. Yeah, I just wanted to add, I'm glad to hear that Derek Ruckus impressed with the venue here. It is a spectacular venue because Derek is somewhat of an anti-hero here for the 36ers fans.
Really?
Ever since he arrived in Australia, March 1990, and on debut, unloaded 48 points and 10 assists. So the fans here, well, they let Derek know about it when he played in the grand final here with the West Sydney Razorbacks as well. But, yeah, glad to have you here in the house and along with you too, Jack.
Did he tell you to bring that game up, Case? I just got a funny feeling that Ruck said, ask me about this game where I had 48.
I mean, you talk about the highs and the lows in 30 seconds, Case. I appreciate the intro, but you killed me. PTSD is well and truly alive. Game 3 got blown out here in the championship.
He called you the anti-hero. I thought he was sort of starting on some Taylor Swift lyrics there. I wasn't sure where he was going. Everyone else is doing it this weekend.
Ooh.
90 seconds to play in the first quarter.
And it's always interesting. We've seen a lot of this over the past few rounds. Nerves become more part of the game. And both these teams look a little bit tight offensively. They both missed some easy opportunities they've created in the lane or at the bucket. Good looks from the three haven't gone down. New Zealand are a very good shooting team, so you wouldn't expect that to continue.
Down White with a layup. Number one in the competition for field goal percentage and three-point percentage, the Breakers. They have their troubles rebounding the ball, but when it comes to shooting it, no issues whatsoever. Kadit with enough space to fire. High arcing three is good.
What a quick release. That thing was in his shot pocket, then above his head so quickly.
Starting this afternoon, and it's been a steadying influence at various stages across the season. Abercrombie backing in on the foul line, left that short. Similar spot for Kadit that time. The first to Starling, shot clock down to 10. Wiley tucked away in the corner. Shot clock's been switched off, so the Breakers will have the final possession of this first quarter. They find themselves down 3. 5 seconds remaining. McDowell White a long way from the cup. Has to turn and doesn't get it to go. It's a 3-point lead to the Adelaide 36ers at quarter time. 17-14 in the final game of the NBL24 regular season. This is Sunday Hoops.
We've got Travis and Trent here. They have 20 seconds each to defeat the other in the push-up challenge. Apparently, Trav, you are going first. 20 seconds, as many push-ups as possible. Thank you to Revo Fitness. Yeah, take your shoes off, no worries, mate. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, start the clock. Here we go. I mean, they are hard push-ups. We've got 15 seconds to go. I should be counting. Are you counting, Trav? Because I've lost count. I mean, if we're going real counting, you've done 3 full ones. Take a breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop the clock. Give it up for Trav. How many? Yeah. Whoa, there's about 20 there. Trent, you got to beat it. He was doing lots of half ones. Trent, your time starts now. Let's go. He's got to beat 20 for $500. 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's count them in. Come on. Just keep going, Trent. I reckon he's going to win it. Just keep going, Trent. What about one-handed ones? 3, 2, 1, Trent. Stop. We've got our winner. Give it up for Trent. Trent having some fun. He got this big goldie check as well. Thanks to Revo Fitness. Hey, thanks for having some fun. As you said before, the Revo Fitness with that feet flying around, making sure you're at that 30s season. Look, fitness season, get back to the action.
Thanks for being with us for the last game of the regular season. It's the Adelaide 36ers who lead 17-14. If you have just joined us, the New Zealand Breakers must win by 5 or more to finish 4th at the end of the regular season. Derek Rucker.
Well, I thought that was a very clunky first quarter by both teams. Kyron Galloway really came out, though, and provided some spark for the Sixers. The Breakers are shallow up front, and I'm uncertain as to why Finn Delaney didn't appear in that first quarter, but they certainly need his services at some point in this game.
Very surprising to see him out there. McCarron got his hands in the passing lane. Jackson Cartwright strips Sunday Detu. Thought he was fouled. How swift is he? He's a ninja.
He's got quick hands. He's down low already as it is, so he's basically saved 4 points already in this game with quick hands.
Down White with the rebound. 1 of 4 in the first quarter. The Breakers shooting the ball at just 29%. They're a far better team than that. Cheatham takes it through the middle of Starling.
And we see Mango Matiang back in the game with those 2 fouls. We've had discussions over the past month about getting 2 fouls in the first half and how your coach responds. Well, Modi has decided he's got to trust his big man because he sees how vulnerable they are in the interior defensively. Now Modi is really trusting Matiang. I don't always trust big guys as much, Jack. Sometimes they can't help themselves.
He's got to be very, very careful. Cheetah makes the second. Let's get over to John Casey.
Yeah, Derek, Jack, I've just been speaking with the New Zealand Breakers. Tight rotation there from Modi Mayor. Just 7 players in the opening quarter. No Finn Delaney. Now, I'm told there's nothing wrong with Finn Delaney. He will be getting into the game during this second quarter is the expectation, but a very tight rotation. One of the other players, not surprisingly, who hasn't hit the deck just yet is Cam Glidden. And you look at the specialised role he has in the NBL, he may be the most specialised player in the competition. He's had 49 shots this season. 46 of them have been 3-pointers. He hasn't had a 2-point field goal attempt since November. Now there's a man that is a specialist role.
Man after my heart.
I was going to say, it sounds like someone I know.
Well, at some point in this run, guys like that make a contribution. And Dane Pino.
It's depth, Ruck, isn't it? How many times do we see over a 3-game semi-series or a 5-game championship series? We were talking about the same thing last night with Tasmania.
It is, and you know, you add these guys and you hope they stay ready and never lose confidence as death lets one fly. But at some point, everybody's got to take a turn driving the bus. And you may only be needed. Woo, that's a nice move. Woo, that's tight. Will McDowell White with a Euro. Gets McCarron gambling out top. And then he's so skilled and athletic all at once. Outstanding finish and an opportunity to get an and 1. Get the Breakers up by 2 in a game where it feels like they shouldn't have the lead.
Yeah. Clunky was the word you used at quarter time. It's a fair description for how it's been so far, but it's been all New Zealand. Adelaide haven't scored in the first 90 seconds of this second term. Isaac Humphries making his way to the scorer's table. McCarron into the paint. Had to change the shot because of the presence of Matiang and Cheatham. Liafa, catch and shoot. O-board for Matiang and puts it back in.
He's been outstanding the past 4 or 5 rounds, finding his way into this league as DJ thought about lining one up, but Coach Mayor has been very happy with Matiang's contribution, and that right there, his rim protection. And probably for that reason is why he's trusting him in these minutes. These are critical minutes. If he can get 3 or 4 out of him here, bring him to the bench, and then maybe get him back at the end of this quarter, that will be a win for the Breakers.
7th in the competition for block shots, Mango Matiang. Scoreless in 16 minutes on Friday night, but as you mentioned, Ruck, his form in the last 6 weeks has been much better than that. Vasiljevic got some space, but stepped out of bounds.
And the tide is turning slightly here. The Sixers lost a little bit of offensive rhythm, and they're not using Humphries enough. We've seen them get distracted offensively, and look at Isaac's facial expression. He doesn't look engaged because he's not getting touches. You got to give the big fella some of the ball.
Only had 1 attempt so far. McDowell White did everything but score. Starting to be a factor. A foul over the back from Whoops the Vicious.
17.
So right here on this possession, you got to run something and get
Subs in.
Humphries a nice block touch, and then let him decide how it pans out from there. He's a very selfless player. He'll kick it out. He'll go grenade action where he dribbles at someone coming from the weak side and get a handoff for him. You see right there, he's talking with DJ about what they're planning on doing here on this sideline out of bounds.
Here is Humphries from the free throw line. Called rough.
That's fine. Get him a touch.
Jackson Cartwright, 9 points in the first quarter. Deflected out of bounds by Khadid. So earlier this afternoon at John Cain Arena, Melbourne United defeated Illawarra 92-87. So the Hawks will be watching on this game with significant interest, as will the Sydney Kings. 4th, 5th and 6th will all be decided on the result of this game. Tough finish by the next star, and one.
He's such a wise offensive player, having played so many professional years already in Europe, but he attacks his closeout really well. Starling doesn't know what to do with him. And then the skill floater. Nice touch off the glass with the left hand. Really like what I see from him on the offensive end. Better athlete than he appears to be. We know he's a sharpshooter. Outstanding acquisition for the Breakers in their next star position.
Timeout called by Scott Ninnis. Still, the 36ers without a bucket in this second term. They did lead by 3 at quarter time, but it's been all New Zealand so far in quarter number 2 in the very last game of this regular season. Let's get over to John Casey.
Thanks very much, Jag. Yes, I've got Trenton Flowers here, fan favourite with the Adelaide 36ers in his debut season as a next star. Trenton, fantastic to have you in the league. Have you enjoyed your time?
Man, I've enjoyed it. You know, it starts here in the AEC. The fans are amazing. You know, we have a great crowd. You know, they keep us going. And, you know, it's just been a pleasure to play here this year.
You've really bought into the community as well. You've been out doing clinics. You love the fans. They love you back. It must be nice to be loved when you're in another country for the first time ever.
Man, it's amazing. You know, as much as I pour into me, they also pour back into me. So, you know, it's a great feeling. And, you know, man, I wouldn't rather be anywhere else.
Did you achieve what you wanted to achieve in this season?
Oh, for sure I have. You know, just being able to touch this community was enough for me. So, you know, I'm glad I was able to leave my mark on everybody.
An NBA draft coming up, is that where you're going?
You know, that's one thing I got to, you know, discuss with my family when I get back. But just know whatever decision I make, God is going to be with me. And, you know, I'm ready for my next chapter.
We've loved having you here. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
He's been an exciting prospect, Trenton Flowers. I think back to that round 3 game, right? 23 points against Illawarra, 5 of 5 from outside. He lit the place up.
He certainly did. And every time he got on the floor, energy and effort was not a problem with him. It was always something that he brought consistently. And I'm sure he will have learned a great deal from his NBL experience as his great ball pressure there from the Breakers.
And it's hard. I mean, he come with a lot of fanfare. He's 18 years of old. I bet you weren't playing your best basketball at 18.
No, Jack, I was not. I can guarantee you that. So I have mad respect for these next stars that come out here. DJ lets one fly from deep. Feeling the need to provide some spark for the Sixers, whose offense is poor at the moment, only shooting 29% from the field.
Jackson Cartwright surveys his option, has Cheatham, who dives to the cup, and the finish.
Great read there from PJC. Perfect timing on the little pocket pass. And Cheatham, he knows what to do with it once he gets airborne. Tough to contain.
Had a pretty significant leg injury in the middle of the season, Zylan Cheatham. We're just starting to see him get back to what we expected from him. That's well short from DJ, but his own rebound. And he'll be shooting 2.
Harvey Norman replay. Nice little screen, possibly illegal. Good pass, and look at that. Athleticism. You can't coach that.
Last 6 games, he's averaged 17, nearly 18 points a game, Zylan Cheatham, and 8.5 rebounds. That's more like it.
It is, and it didn't take him long to bounce back from that injury. I wasn't expecting him really to be able to play at this level till possibly the playoffs, so he's well and truly exceeded that time frame. The other thing, though, is the Breakers right now have given up 5 offensive rebounds. I was talking to Coach Montemayor before the game, and one thing that he's been very disappointed about is his team keeps giving second chance opportunities to the opponents. He's very happy with the first phase of defense, but they don't clear the rebounds enough and get away with it. They give the other team another chance to score.
They got the lowest rebounding percentage in the competition, the Breakers, at just 37%. McDowell White, if you keep scoring, it won't matter.
And they've got so many ways to attack you from that lead guard position.
Breakers by 6. Vasiljevic drives and scores. He's starting to get the looks that he wants, and Montemayor frustrated with what he's seeing defensively.
That's just too easy, and that's not what he expects as we head into this snooze timeout. Point of attack defense must be solidified. You've got to keep that man in front of you. Again, though, full credit to DJ because he's so crafty and he uses his body so well to make plays.
28-24 in the snooze timeout. Pre-game, John Casey caught up with the current interim coach of the Adelaide 36ers, Scott Ninnis.
You've made it public that you'd like the job next year. Where is that at? How confident are you that you will be the man?
Oh, look, you know, my conversation between Grant and myself has been consistent all along. We'll wait to the end of the season. Look, I'm confident in myself and my abilities to lead on next year. But we've always said we're going to wait to the end of the season. I guess that's going to be in a couple of hours, so I'm sure we'll sit down over the next couple of weeks and hopefully get something done.
If they decide to go in another direction, would you accept another role with the club? It looks as though they're looking for a basketball manager or a GM in that category or an assistant. Is that something that you'd entertain?
No, it's an interesting question. I'm certainly not thinking that way myself. I don't say, well, I wouldn't go back to an assistant coach, you know, after having this job for the second half of this year. So, you know, those conversations will happen. Right now, I'm not thinking that way at all.
What do we take away from that?
Well, I get where he's coming from because the name that's been tossed around most is Brian Goorjian. If you bring Brian Goorjian in here and his resources and what you need to give him to get him here, he's going to handle all that basketball side. He doesn't need a GM. So I see where Scotty Ninnis is coming from. What is he going to do when Brian Goorjian is here? We go high, low, old school. Cheatham finishes way up high.
That was textbook.
Great execution after the timeout, despite the defensive change from the Sixers. So well done, adaptive basketball from the Breakers.
Modi had a little smile after that play. Exactly the way they drew it up. Humphries still yet to touch the ball. He just cannot get an open look. Looks to Vicious from the corner.
And right there in that possession, you see the next stage of Will McDowell White's development. He's got to be a threat on that catch to shoot the ball or attack that scenario better.
Galloway has 5 points, started the game well, rolls to the basket. Mattiang changed the shot and changed that one of Humphries as well.
He's causing big-time problems around that rim.
He's telling everyone about it as well. Never shy, Mango Mattiang. That's a turnover from Cheatham. Here's the Harvey Norman ruck. A little high-low.
Outstanding basketball. Just a great flash. Mattiang played enough high-level basketball to understand where the looks are. Great cut from DJ. Starting to get better offensive execution for both teams.
And he's got 11 of their 26, DJ Vasiljevic. And he told us pre-game he came over for a chat and said he's pretty keen to go out with a bang. Foul will be on New Zealand.
That play always confuses me from big men because it appears that you could come down with that rebound instead of tapping it out.
What do you think?
Well, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt because I'm not 6'10" and super athletic and long like those guys, so I don't know what their perspective is, but it appears that you could grab that ball with one hand.
His hands from Mattiang. He's causing some headaches. Montemayor's got some juggling to do with the foul situation. Parker Jackson Cartwright has 3. Stavicius has 2, and as does Matiang. And he, as Case told us, he is running a shorter rotation this afternoon. Still no Finn Delaney. And Wiley told to go to work over the top of Abercrombie. On his own rebound, that athleticism on full show. Marshall there for support.
And the Sixers continuing to pound that offensive glass. That's 8 rebounds on that end for them.
That's better from McDowell White. Exactly what you were talking about.
If you're going to be out there playing on the perimeter, you must be a three-point threat, given all the other gifts that he has. He can shoot it, he just needs to decide it. He wants to do it and be decisive. Humphries gets a good look, no love.
10 points for McDowell White. First breakup into double figures. The half a baseline turnover. Here comes Wiley. Look out. Oh, he had a flat tire.
We've seen several of those over the past couple of weeks. End of season legs.
Normally that would have been one for the highlight reels for Jacob Wiley, but we need to get the puncture kit out. New Zealand by 3. McDowell White goes to work and had another one rattle out. He's getting good looks, just cashing in on all of them. There's Abercrombie. Been doing that since day 1 here in the NBL. Great play from Marshall. Never gave up on it. To the warm applause of the Adelaide faithful. Kadee for 3. Offensive rebound for Siljevic. They're fighting hard, the 36ers. And DJ draws contact.
Playing with a lot of determination, and that's something that he's brought to this Sixers lineup since joining them early in the season. Plays with a lot of confidence, has the ability to will his teammates. You look at this replay. Good defense there for Marshall. Went straight up and then got a piece of the ball with his left hand. Sixers hanging around.
They are, which is, I mean, there's nothing in it for them, is there, in this game? There's nothing for them to gain. It's a great chance to put on a show in front of the home fans, but right now they're playing like it means something.
Well, it's very similar to the game we saw Friday night up in camp when they hosted Melbourne United. Melbourne United didn't have as much to play for as the Breakers do today, but the 36ers can play carefree, Cam's played carefree, and we saw they got the win. So having that pressure off of you sometimes can produce much better results than you've been getting throughout the season.
Minute 59 before halftime. Just on the 36ers run. Regardless of what direction they head with the coach, there's a buzz around this team all of a sudden. All of a sudden the city's interested in the 36ers once again, which is great to see.
And look, we don't want to disparage C.J. Bruton. He did the best he could when he was here, but certainly Scott Nennis has led that 36ers run up that Mitsubishi Motors ladder. They were languishing down at the bottom, and I think they've gone 7-7 under Nennis, and he's restored some respectability and credibility to the program. They've had some really good victories along the way, and for them to get one here today and disrupt somewhat New Zealand's playoff aspirations would be a fitting way for him to go out and to make a statement for his candidacy for the next couple of seasons. I'm curious to see what type of term we're talking here, whether it be 2 or 3 years. What would you potentially do for Scott Nennis? I think a fair length would be 2 years for both sides.
2 plus 1? Just 2?
Yeah, I was just...
Maybe I'm being too generous.
Yeah, I was just saying 2 years, and let's ride with that for now.
That's why I'm here and not a GM of the team. Even my Supercoach team has had some troubles this year. Nick Marshall, we mentioned, will be part of the Boomers team next week. They're playing Bendigo, country Victoria. Some of the young NBL stars will get an opportunity to put their best foot forward and show what they've got and work under Brian Gorgian, which is exciting for them as well.
Will McDowell-White's been very exciting in this first half himself. 12 points, high usage. He's taken 10 shots, and that's something I'd like to see him do more of. Come out here and get your field goal attempts up.
And another headache for Modi Mayor. That's now 3 fouls for Rupstavicius.
Let's go. Line up. Boys, line up, please.
What's happening with Finn Delaney here, right?
Well, looking down there, getting a bit of eye contact with him, and he's not giving me much back, as you can see. There must be something physically up with him, or they're preserving him not to aggravate something. But it's very mysterious in a game in which he is obviously needed, given the foul situation, and not to mention his sheer talent.
Plus 17 on Friday night against Brisbane. No minutes as yet. McCarron leaves both free throws on the line. Loose ball started with Liafa. It's going to finish with Cheatham to McDowell-White. And again, misses from underneath. Second time around.
Wow.
He has 12, Will McDowell-White. He should have 20 at halftime.
Jack, they're chasing that 5-point margin, and those little misses, like blown games early in the season, can come back to haunt you. Watching these coaches week to week, Jack, makes me very appreciative of where I watch the games from. The stress is too much.
Especially on a day like today for New Zealand. They could finish fourth and play Tasmania in a play-in game, which I think is a matchup that would interest New Zealand.
Most certainly. Two teams that have a lot of similarities. Tasmania, more structured. But ultimately, especially with New Zealand's recent improvement defensively, they're both very good on that end.
That's if they win by 5 or more. If they lose, win by less than 5, they will host a play-in against the Sydney Kings. If they lose, then it's a different headache. They'll go to Kudos Bank Arena to play Sydney in a play-in. McCarron drives and lays it up.
Well, right now, their coaching staff has a headache. 8 turnovers, contributing to easy opportunities for the Sixers, who are not doing a good job in the half court. New Zealand really shooting themselves in the foot at the moment.
Shot clock down to 10. Not a lot happening for the Breakers on this possession. McDowell-White pulls up. And the shot clock's been switched off. Adelaide with a chance to expand on a very, very handy lead. They're proving a headache for New Zealand. Abercrombie's whistle.
Very smart play there from Sunday Desch. Realized he just had a mini advantage on the angle against Abercrombie. Was able to exploit it, get himself into a position to draw that foul. That's 13 fouls on New Zealand in this first half. Pino and Liafa come to the bench for this final possession. But certainly, Jack, they've left a lot of meat on the bone.
Is that the positive? Is that the theme of what Modi Mayor has to say at halftime, or is he going in a different direction?
Look, they've held the Sixers to 32% from the field. Okay, so they've done a good job, but it's those 9 offensive rebounds and the turnovers. You're just not giving yourself a chance to win this game.
Jackson Cartwright takes a look at the clock, got it away. 36ers lead by 2 at the main break.
There's a lot of suspense coming this second half. Wow. DJ doing his thing for the Sixers. 15 points at the first half. Will McDowell's got 12. Will McDowell-White's got 12. A tough playoff-like first half by both teams.
Let's get over to Case.
Thanks very much, Jack. Yeah, I've got DJ here with me at the moment. 13 of Adelaide's 20 in that quarter. You needed a bucket and you came to the table. How did you get that done?
First quarter, too many forced shots by me, just reading what New Zealand's doing. They're only showing on me, so it's about getting off the ball quick, getting it back and go downhill, or beat them in transition because they don't get back that well.
Extra bit of wardrobe here on the wrist. Tell us about that.
Oh, bro, that was Pete Hooley's little symphony story. Now I got a little bummed up elbow. I've had it for the whole season, so I got to protect it going into the Boomer stuff.
Given you can't make playoffs, the motivation to play well here, is that the collective, individuals, or just everything?
No, it's just I think we've gone up and down this season as a club, and we've turned around the second half of the season since Scotty's taken over, and we just want to show these fans, our appreciation for sticking by us. Another, 8th in a row game with sellout, so fan appreciation round, so we've got to go out on a high.
Appreciate your time. Good luck in the second half.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, the fans are appreciating what they're seeing from Adelaide. Not sure the New Zealand Breakers are appreciating what Adelaide is serving up right now. It's a 37-35 ball game, half-time in the final game of the regular season. The drama continues to build on the last day of the regular season. The Breakers chasing a 5-point win to finish 4th on the table. At halftime, they trail by 2, 37-35. The Adelaide 36ers with not a lot to play for except pride and putting on a show in front of their fans, and they are doing that.
Well, right now, the 36ers are being assisted by the Breakers, who are giving up so many offensive rebounds to the Sixers and then being careless with the basketball. And that's just allowing the Sixers to kind of work their way into this basketball game despite not playing well. They're getting enough of an offensive contribution from DJ, and he's getting them points. He's got 15 in the first half. Humphreys hasn't done much. He hasn't got a bucket yet, but Jack, he's a +10 when he's out there on the floor.
Will McDowell-White, we mentioned in the call, has been fantastic. Probably should have more than the 12 points that he has at halftime. He's 5 of 13 from the field. We'll see some of his makes, but some of his misses have been from close range as well.
They have, and both teams have been guilty of not finishing at the cup. Will's had a good first half, a little bit more efficiency, though, with his shooting would have been a big assistance there, but the good sign for the Breakers is that he's able to create opportunities. Now, you would think with the talent that the Breakers have that this can turn around and they can be more fluid offensively, but if we look at the Blackmore shot chart, all his shots in the middle cylinder of the floor. He's attacking the cup. He's had good looks from straight down the center of split line, so you can't fault his approach. Will always makes good choices with the basketball. Now he just needs a couple other guys to come along with him.
Let's go back to last night, 2 games that had pretty contrasting results, let's be honest. And we start with what we saw at John Cain Arena. 122-67. To be honest, it's even hard to read that scoreline out.
It is. They put the double nickel 55 on them. And I guess the big question right now is this the Sydney Kings everyone expected? Is this the team we're going to see in the play-in tournament, or was this just an anomaly and one of their best nights of the season against a severely undermanned Southeast Melbourne Phoenix?
There's not a lot they can take out of that, but can they take the form of DJ Hogue? Is that the big positive for Sydney?
Hey, look, anytime you go on the road and win a game, I don't care who it's against, you're feeling good coming out of that one, and I think that's what they can hang their hat on.
And then the Jack Jumpers, 86-72 winners in Perth. I was there for that one last night at MyState Bank Arena. They may very well be the form team of the competition right now, the Jack Jumpers.
They could be, and they have one of the most impactful players in the competition in Will Magnay. His net rating is incredible, and when he's out there on the floor, the Jack Jumpers are a totally different team. They're getting solid contributions now from Milton Doyle, and Jack McVeigh is one of the top 5 Australians in the competition as we look at the NBL24 final series.
It's starting to all make sense, so we can now add Tasmania into finishing 3rd. So that is now a lock in the seeding qualifier. If New Zealand win, that's how we're going to start, with Tasmania and New Zealand, and then it'll be an Illawarra and Sydney play-in qualifier. What about that for a matchup? A freeway series between 2 teams who really do not like each other. Loser goes home.
And that will be amazing to see, especially given the form of the Illawarra Hawks and what they've been able to do against the Sydney Kings the past 2 times they played them. However, Jack, there is work to be done right here in this second half. We don't know what that finals bracket is going to look like until the Breakers either decide they can get this game and go ahead and apply themselves, or the Sixers take it and ruin their 4th place possibilities.
We're going to have to go. Stick with us. It's a big crowd at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. This is Sunday Hoops here in the Hungry Jacks NBL.
All you need to do is stand now to enter for your chance to win. If you've missed it too, we have this online auction to mark the end of the season. Some great bargains to be had on a huge range of items. Exclusive fun experiences, team-side new holidays, wine, beer, perfume, you name it. Scan the QR code, check out all the items and start bidding today. Don't forget at the end of the game, we also have a full player signing. So the full playing squad is going to be at the orb for this signing. So get out there for your chance to meet the players. You grab their autographs. Now, 36ers family, we couldn't exactly get Usher here tonight for a halftime performance, but look, it's pretty close to get out of clappers and clap away to Usher's tunes with our Homestart Finance clapper can see yourself on the big screen. Let's go! Thank you so much to Homestart Finance this year, taking care of that Junior 36er and the clapper can. Until we start this third quarter. This is more like it. Everyone's getting involved. What's going on here?
Bunnings is backing the next generation of bowlers.
Today we're going to have a heap of fun.
We're at the Sandringham Sabres.
The St Kilda Slammers put on a show today.
These bowlers from Rayleigh came out to see us a couple weeks ago.
They're huge basketball fans.
Today we welcome the Blackburn Vikings down to John Cain Arena. It's the boss man, Charlie!
Bunnings Warehouse done an amazing job getting all these families along, having all the kids there, 3,000 over the season, 14 games. Just being a part of it is going to be really special.
We're just returning the favor. We're excited to see their moves. Let's go, buddy! Yeah!
Hey! What up?
Hey, mate, so give me some love, brother.
Fuck it! There it is!
One day I would love to play for the Cairns time.
What are you guys most looking forward to when you come to an NBL game?
To see how you guys play.
Good job, everyone. Great job. Great job. High five. Keep up the work.
1, 2, 3, let's go!
3, 2, 1.
What a terrific initiative by Bunnings. They've been getting youngsters and their families to games all season long. Such a great support mechanism. It's all about the grassroots. It's all about the future ruck. And so many kids in the crowd here today. It's a great atmosphere. And Bunnings drive a lot of that. So thanks for their support this season.
That's all correct, and also full credit to the players for providing the type of role models that these kids can aspire to be. We have so many accessible and friendly players throughout our competition. It's just a credit to the league.
You been to Bunnings lately?
I have. I'll go in there and sit in there for 2 hours. Bunnings and Harvey Norman, they hit me good.
What are you doing there? When you say you sit there, do you actually buy anything or just sit there?
No, I go in there and buy some, some house stuff. I like to fix up walls, Jack.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind when one of the kids puts a hole through a wall at home. Fans standing to start the second half.
Oh, my.
That's a long-range three from Vasiljevic. Turns out the bank is open on a Sunday.
Never a good sign when someone banks in one like this. Get this crowd amped up to start the second. They were pretty quiet in the first half. And they get a long three ball. You look at this Harvey Norman replay. Deep, good contest, off the glass. Wow.
All of a sudden, they've scored the last 7, Adelaide. Picked up from where they left off on their way to half-time. New Zealanders haven't had the same space, the same fluency. That's a better find. McDowell White for Rupstavicius.
Just a sense of relief there right throughout that Breakers bench. They just needed a bucket just to settle themselves down. Now it's defend in the first phase, clear the ball, and play offense.
He can't score from close range.
Good execution there from the Sixers. Ran a nice little set.
Cheatham down the middle. Took it at Isaac Humphries, who stood his ground. And Cheatham bounced off the big man. This time relocates for 3.
And he wants that foul call. Felt there was contact on his arm as he went to poke it.
Two more for Vasiljevic, that's 20.
An outstanding score. He did it all throughout his collegiate career. Played less of a scoring role with the Sydney Kings, but you can see he's ramped it up here with the Sixers.
Adelaide, when playing at home, have won their last 10 when they've led at quarter time. They did that. They've taken that lead into halftime and they've brought that momentum into the third quarter. Points will count for Humphries.
Now with New Zealand down 7, I'd really look for Parker Jackson Cartwright and Cheatham to try and get more involved in this game offensively.
Let's get over to John Casey.
Thanks very much, Jack. Yeah, just an update on Finn Delaney. Initially, the word was that he was okay and would participate in the game, but I spoke to Coach Mody Mayo at halftime. He tells me that Finn Delaney has suffered from back spasms this morning and he will not take any part in the game, full stop.
Well, that's tough, Jack. You know, a long flight over here. Nice dish from Marshall. Timeout New Zealand as Humphries slams one home. Sixers getting control of this one, up 9 early in this third quarter.
This is not part of the script. If you're a Breakers fan watching right now, this is not part of the plan, what's going on.
And that news about Finn Delaney that Case reported, not timely because this is a game where he is definitely required. They had the game Friday night, traveled over here yesterday, and these things happen.
Some stern words from Mody Mayor. Case, while you're on a roll, I'm told something very significant happened on this day a few years ago.
That's right, Jack. Yes, 15 years ago this February, Brett Maher, in his last home game for the Adelaide 36 of his illustrious 524-game career, knocked down this three-pointer in CJ Bruton's face, and they were so impressed that they signed the court, the Brett Maher court, right from that position where it actually happened on this floor. Not at this venue, but at this floor. And it brought up what was a fantastic career moment for Brett Maher, who won 3 championships, twice grand final MVP, and that was his last home game. It was also the first home game that Tom Abercrombie, or the first game at this venue for Tom Abercrombie as well. So sliding doors moment there. And Brett Maher, one of his grand final MVP performances came against Derek Rucker and the West Sydney Razorbacks.
Wow. Wow.
Do you want to handle this, Ruck, or do you want to not talk about it?
I don't think you guys understand the pain that's caused by losing grand finals as Abercrombie can't connect. But Case, you saw me crying on that night.
It was tough, Derek. I know it was tough for you because in 1990, it was Ricky Grace and the Perth Wildcats who won the grand final MVP and defeated the Brisbane Bullets.
If you're going to go down to greats. That's all I can say.
Just come and sit over here on the couch, Ruck, and let's just talk it through, shall we? Case is really taking the long handle to you this afternoon. Jackson Cartwright, much needed bucket.
And there's such great memories to have the chance to play in those big games. It's something that you can never replicate in any other area of your life. These guys are so fortunate, even on a big game like this one here, to have these opportunities. Humphries is starting to have an impact in this game. 6 points, all early in this third quarter.
Well, they're finding him more, aren't they?
True. And this zone has kind of confused the Breakers.
Side to side with not any real fluency. Jackson Cartwright baseline. Defer to Abercrombie with 1 on the clock. Looked like hard work.
And good coaching strategy from Scotty Nennis. The Breakers are 3 of 18 from the 3. Why not play a zone and force them to the perimeter until they knock down a couple?
John Cheatham getting ready to check back in. Nice pass, Marshall for Humphries. Another bucket from close range, a double-digit lead now for Adelaide.
A top 4 position creeping away from the Breakers. They've got to find a way to pierce this zone with some dribble and pass penetration.
Well, it's Parker Jackson Cartwright, Will McDowell-White, or nothing pretty much now for New Zealand. Both of those players in double figures. They need a couple to come with them. Humphries, not that time over Matiak. Thought he was fouled. 5:14 remaining in the third quarter. Last time we'll see the Adelaide 36ers. It isn't the last time we see Scott Ninnis as coach. Great finish from Matiak.
Great acrobatic move there. And the Breakers really felt this was a charge on the other end against Galloway.
He passed the ball! He passed to Humphries! He's joking! Look out! You guys kidding me?
And
Joke!
consternation being displayed by Motimayor is felt right throughout that bench. His point of beef is he felt Galloway was passing the ball. But referees nowadays interpret this anytime you pick it up
a very big call. What?
as being in the shot action. So that's why Galloway gets two shot attempts and he misses the first.
And now both coaches with a behaviour warning.
It's tense, Jack.
It sure is. Motimayor's right next to us. And he's riding every possession because he knows what's up for grabs. And, well, Scott Ninnis is potentially coaching for his career right here. So this game means a lot to him as well. Cam Glidden walks to the scorer's table to check in for the first time this afternoon.
Well, they'll be looking for instant perimeter success from Cam Glidden. His leash will be short.
Humphries 4 of 10 for the game. Again, thought he was fouled, but nothing doing.
Right there, Abercrombie doesn't do a good job attacking that closeout.
Jackson Cartwright like a hot knife through butter.
He's got to take it upon himself now to lead this team offensively. He has the ability and the talent to create good possessions every single time they have the ball.
15 points. He's the leading scorer for the Breakers. We've made Humphries a focal point in this third quarter, and it's working.
Pink 45. Hit. 2.
And again, we've seen the success over the second half of this season since Scotty Ninnis has taken over. How well this Adelaide offensive unit works when Humphries gets ample touches and he's felt appreciate on the offensive end. If he's just running up and down, you're not going to get the best out of him. You're not going to get the best out of him on the defensive end.
He'll also be part of the Boomers team next week. He's also the only Adelaide player to start every game this season. So is it fair now, Ruck, to dispel the myth that he's injury prone? He's had 2 seasons of virtually playing every game.
Yeah, he's proven his durability now. And I'm not sure what the holdup is in getting him signed, but seems like it should be a priority, a high priority.
Glidden's first look was a good one. He left that short. Vasiljevic stripped. Fast hands came from Isaiah Liafa. Speaking of fast, Jackson Cartwright was too fast for Cheatham after all of that. He takes off once more.
Don't look at me for that.
Sometimes
They're on it.
your team...
It's not mine. It's not mine to get.
Sometimes you win victories because of the team contribution and getting things done as a collective. Sometimes when you have a great player like a Chris Golding or a Parker Jackson Cartwright, you can rely on those guys' individual brilliance to carry you through, and that's what the Breakers need right here.
53-47. Breakers playing for 4th spot in this last game of the season. Vasiljevic blocked, great D from Liafa. He stalked him all over the floor. Matiang rises up, challenged by Humphries.
Wow, let's have a look at this one. Both guys went way up above the rim. Humphries met him courageously. Great dish from Parker Jackson Cartwright. Mathiang gathers. Humphries, great verticality. The crowd does not like it. We got a review here coming.
What do you think?
Verticality, no foul.
Yes, that's fine.
If that's a foul, then I'm not sure what else you can do in that situation.
But I'm not saying my percentage is great this year on these replay reviews, so.
Well, I've got to say, you know I love you, but I've spent pretty much every Sunday with you this season, and I'd say your shooting percentage is better than your coach's challenge percentage.
Thank you. This is tough, and this is why you go hard to try and stick it if you're the offensive player, because it puts a lot of pressure on the referee. Even a clean block shot often looks like contact.
Now, the evidence must be definitive to overturn the original call.
We need Brad Rosen here. We need Brad to be the decider. Brad, text me right now if you got an answer.
It looks pretty good.
Did he go slightly forward with the yes and break the vertical plane? Yes. Is it enough?
After review, the coach's challenge is unsuccessful. The call on Bill 8 will stand and will shoot 2 shots.
Scotty Ninnis had a great look at it, as did the other 9,500 fans in the house. To say they did not agree would be an understatement. Look clean to me, Jack.
We're nearing a riot right now. Home fans not happy.
Well, there could be a trade-off.
You know what would make them happy? All the famous faces are behind the hoop. Trying to distract Mango Mathiang. And he obliges with burgers. They've gone from sad to happy very quickly because they didn't get the foul, but they will get a chomp down on flame-grilled Hungry Jacks. The code word is hot.
Trenton Flowers on screen, big-time fan favorite, making his final appearance here at the Adelaide Entertainment Center.
Unfortunately, there's an issue with his neck and not playing tonight. Trey Cal also not out here tonight with a foot problem. And the 36ers are more than holding their own without Trey Cal. And Karen kept it alive. They've walked the tightrope, Adelaide, and done it successfully. Wiley against the clock. Got it!
Very unorthodox possession there from the Sixers. Ball flying all over the place. But they get it to Wiley late in the shot clock. He hits the little turnaround jumper.
Confusion, jump ball, possession arrow with New Zealand.
That's tough. There's a lot of players' hands. That's the problem.
It's an 8-point lead in a game that New Zealand must win.
And just based on the fact that they don't seem to be able to get any flow down on that end, everything is so choppy on the offensive end. Points are at a premium, and they just are not shooting the ball well.
Jackson Cartwright steps into the three. That's no good. Wiley soars above everyone else and drags in that rebound.
3 of 21 from the three for New Zealand.
Across the season, they shoot at 38% from outside.
Good, we're good.
And credit to the Sixers for forcing the breakers to do things they're not comfortable with.
Rebound by Cheatham. Well, he has the 6 points in the game. Does have 7 rebounds. Someone they could get a little bit more out of at the offensive end. Jackson Cartwright, the pass was on, but he missed the target.
Well, he went with the wrong type of pass. He went with bounce pass from above his chest, which always produces a strange angle when it comes off the ground. Need a little pocket pass or an extra dribble and allow time for Cheatham to get to the front of the rim for the lob opportunity.
Starling in for Adelaide, another fan favourite. Second chance for the 36ers. Vasiljevic attracts a crowd and then throws it straight into the nose of Starling, who threw it at the feet of Cheatham. Vasiljevic, right place, right time, deep three.
These broken possessions are killing the Breakers right now. That's 5 points in the last 2 minutes off of these types of plays.
The alpha rattles out at the other end.
Desperate times, Jack, for the Breakers.
Adelaide are charging to three-quarter time. That's an offensive foul. Seven of 15 from the field this afternoon. DJ Vasiljevic for his 23 points.
And he's done a good job. He's plus 14. He's got 11 rebounds and 4 assists. Just an outstanding all-around game. And this is what we've seen from him this second half of the season. A more mature, well-rounded basketball player.
Glidden, wide open. That one doesn't go. He's had a couple of really good looks. Vasiljevic winds the clock down to 7. Guarded by McDowell-White. McCarron tried to invent something. It's the 36ers who are spoiling the party right now. 58-47 in front of 9,500 at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. 4th place is New Zealand's, but it's slipping away from them. It's the final Sunday hoops of the regular season here in the Hungry Jacks NBL.
Family round joined by Kylie and Jasper here tonight, who are signing up to the cup. It is next to fantastic. We have one more Lunar leading contest for Hungry Jacks. Oh, don't forget, we get that free Hungry Jacks as well. Our NBL24 guys, it's very easy. You've got to consume the noodles as fast as you can. We've got a prize back to both of you. You guys ready? They don't look ready. It doesn't matter. We're going to have some fun. Young to the cup, fantastic. 3, 2, 1, go! It's a really awkward thing just watching people like Jasper's done this. Look at Jasper going, my goodness. Jasper has a vacuum mouth. He's just getting the noodles in there. Kylie, I want to support you here, but Jasper is just like a golden retriever. Just taking these noodles like he's never had a meal in his life. And well, it's an easy now. Come on, Jasper, he's gone too hard too early. You've got to clean up the mess if you make a mess as well. Kylie, I'll just offer a suggestion. Just watch him. Right, you're not going to win. Just watch him go, because he's really aggressive. We're going to wrap this up in a second because the players are coming back out on the court. He's going to win. I feel uncomfortable. Thanks to Fantastic. Do not bother. Thanks to Fantastic. Young to the cup. Give it up to these legends. We'll give the prize back. Jasper. Whoa, he's done it. Let's go back to the action. Get the noodles off the court. But you win, I think.
.48-47 at three-quarter time. The Adelaide 36 is playing really, really good basketball in that third quarter. Held New Zealand to just 12 points As we take a look at the live ladder, John Casey, things are getting very interesting now.
Yes, Jack, that's right. And that 12 points equals New Zealand's lowest third quarter of the season. But the live ladder, we've spoken about how a win with the right number takes New Zealand all the way to fourth. As it stands at the moment, they have slumped to sixth. And that would mean a home sudden death playoff game on the road against the Sydney Kings. Unless they can reverse the trend at the moment and get themselves back in front by around 5 or 6. Or may even need to be into double figures for them to get home court advantage. But that's a great start to the quarter from Adelaide.
What do you think the Sydney Kings are thinking right now, Ruck?
Well, they would be thinking that based on what we did yesterday, we are a different team and we can handle this Breakers team. Are the Adelaide 36ers providing a blueprint on how to knock down the Breakers as another miss comes? Jack, they're 3 of 23 from the three and only 33% overall from the field. Big, big trouble here for the Breakers.
Here's the Harvey Norman replay.
Shove in the back, blue ball.
Is this for an opening play of the fourth quarter?
Drew that one up at quarter time, caught the Breakers sleeping. The Alpha doesn't provide any resistance. They get their heads dunked on. Sixers up 13. New Zealand may have to look at pressuring up the floor, trying to change this rhythm.
They can't miss. Sunday Detch off the inbound. 16-point lead to Adelaide.
And everyone's into the game now. That revamped confidence has resurfaced after a struggling first half from the Sixers on the offensive end.
Starling all up and in on McDowell White. Shot clock down to 2. McDowell White managed to crack the code.
Great defensive pressure, but just better talent and an outstanding finish from Will McDowell White. Make no mistake, the Sixers have found their way into this game, and they have a blueprint to win it.
Foul on Cheatham, reaching in. That's his third. So, yes, they have to knock down shots. As we just see Will McDowell White here grabbing a shoulder that is already taped. He looks in real discomfort right now. Let's see if we can find it here.
Here we go. Guys, Rich.
It looks like he jams up when he goes for a left arm bar on the ball handler. And he is in discomfort as we look at that bench.
I hope that's not out of place. Starling. Score. The expression on Will McDowell White's face, he's just hidden there. He's in real pain. Such a key piece of this New Zealand team. There is a fever break coming up after this, but it's not that long of a break. Wiley backs in. Doesn't get the roll that time. He gets a second chance. It's been such a feature of their game this afternoon, Adelaide. They're hustling after everything. Wiley into the crowd.
Great effort and determination from the Sixers. And the one thing that's been a constant theme with them since Scotty Ninnis has taken over has been that effort. Sometimes they don't always perform with the skill requisite to win games, but we saw it demonstrated right there, just continually staying on it.
You'd think that Adelaide were the team playing for a playoff spot this afternoon. Desperation and the desire to get after everything. Humphries whistled for that one. It's his third foul.
Right now with PJC going to the free throw line is a perfect opportunity to try and apply some type of pressure to see what works early in this third quarter. Maybe trap up the floor, see if we can change this Sixers rhythm on the offensive end, try and disrupt them somewhat, see if you can get a quick turnover and a bucket.
It's been their spark offensively, 18 points. 16 when the team's played in round 5, 21, 6 and 9 in round 9 in that win in New Zealand. He's going to have to come up with something pretty heroic to drag the Breakers back from here.
Well, it's interesting, Jack. We remember a couple of rounds ago when New Zealand knocked off Illawarra over in New Zealand. Then they had to travel to Melbourne and play on the Sunday, and they didn't really show up for that one. A game very similar to this one, where they just haven't been able to get it going. The offensive output not quite up to standard.
Late clock for Adelaide. Sunday Detch is bailed out. But the story at the moment, John Casey, is Will McDowell-White.
Yeah, and it's devastating news as well, Jack. I've just spoken to Will McDowell-White, and he's told me that his shoulder has popped out for the second time. That would mean season over for Will McDowell-White. There's long faces, as you'd expect, on the New Zealand Breakers bench at the moment. Players getting around him to console him as well. But yeah, just devastating news for Will McDowell-White.
Gee. That's horrible news.
Well, this is the second just horrible injury over the past 3 weeks for this Breakers franchise, and doesn't even mention all the countless injuries they've had this season. Justinian Jessup.
Cheatham.
And sometimes you have those seasons. We've seen Southeast Melbourne go through it. But it just really hurts this Breakers team, as many people feel like they have, when fully rostered, they have the ability to win the championship.
Wiley blocks Cheatham. Adelaide surge forward. McCarron with all of the tricks. The find underneath. Timeout, New Zealand. They can't make it, Adelaide, but they can certainly shape it, and that's what they're doing.
There's nothing like coming out here in your final home game and showing these fans that it's important that you provide for them. You send them home on a real high note.
Both arms in the air if you think it's a make. Cross those arms, no deal style to miss. Surely we finish.
What a turn up this is.
I could not have foreseen this being the case. Almost halfway through this fourth quarter, the Sixers, not just the fact that they've got a nice double-digit lead, but how they've done it defensively to the Breakers. Limiting the Breakers only to 51 points on 34% shooting. They're crushing them on the boards. And other than Parker Jackson Cartwright, there hasn't been a Breaker able to impact this game in a positive way. Outstanding performance from the Sixers.
TJ Vasiljevic has 23. Isaac Humphries has 12. But it's Adelaide who have led from the opening tip. The Breakers took over in the second quarter. All Adelaide after that. Thanks for being with us at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. 6 minutes 53 remaining. Adelaide leads 67-51. The Breakers came into this game with the potential to finish fourth. A lost Eric Rucker will see them finish sixth and play in Sydney in a plane.
And probably not, as the Breakers run a nice series there and get a good look from the three, and Leapa knocks one down, finally for them. But certainly the Breakers would have flown over here with high expectations of putting together a really sound performance on both ends of the floor. They haven't been bad defensively, but on the offensive end, they've just been stymied.
Vasiljevic lets another one fly. Another offensive rebound and more second chance opportunities for the home team. It's the vicious. Nabs that one from Humphries. 6 minutes to play. Still time for New Zealand. Abercrombie goes up an air ball. Everything has to go right from here.
This is a big possession right here. They need a stop and a bucket to start to string some things along as we get to the 5-minute mark in this final quarter.
Humphries from outside. Listen to the roar. He's had a phenomenal season in Adelaide, Isaac Humphries. How's that for the cherry on top of the cake?
He's got 15 points now, and most of those have come in this second half, and it's no surprise that it's been reflected in this margin as it's continued to grow up to 16 now.
Looks vicious. Good catch and shoot three. Maybe a breaker's ball. Takes no prisoners.
Not buying it.
He's come back for some time officiating in Japan as part of the FIBA series. Nico Fernandez also in Hungary in the last couple of weeks.
Blue, 10. That's fair. Because that's fuck.
So the loss is one thing for the Breakers, Ruck, if they can't pull this one out of the fire. But the Will McDowell-White injuries, it's an enormous story.
Don't go overly physical. I saw the play.
It is, and for someone who was starting to come along and doing a really good job, he had a good first half here. You could just see he was playing with the right spirit. He's obviously a high IQ guy. Abercrombie lets one rip, knocks it down from the high elbow. Quick timeout from Ninnis. Doesn't want to give the Breakers any chance to get back into this game. But yeah, the Will McDowell-White one is bad news for Breakers. And just another hurdle that they've got to overcome as we go into this snooze timeout.
There he is. He looks a pretty forlorn figure. You can see fairly innocuous, the injury as well, but as Case told us, it was already taped up. It had already popped out once recently.
As I said, it looked like when he went to apply that arm bar and put some pressure on the ball handler where that pain got him. And that's not what any basketball fan across Australia wants to see. Extremely talented young man. Mitsubishi Motors ladder tells a story.
The percentage, it was a factor for Brisbane, hence why they won't be taking part in the postseason action. The fact that this is a double-digit margin is an issue for New Zealand as well. They could still, if they lose by less than 5, could still host the play-in against Sydney. There's Aaron Phillips, dual sport superstar, represented Australia in basketball, a legend of South Australian sport. Tried her hand at AFLW and did a little better than just tried her hand at AFLW. She dominated that competition as well.
One of the elite sportsmen of all time in Australian history, and great to watch. That's another thing. It's one thing to be good, but to be entertaining to watch is a whole nother level.
Sunday Detch from outside. Not that far off. Breakers have got the best part of 4 minutes to work with. It's work for Mitch McCarron.
The Breakers just never found that offensive structure that we've seen them play so well with, especially in Auckland. It hasn't really traveled well recently, Jack, and that would be a bit of a concern for the coaching staff also. How can they take that game on the road to what looks like a play-in matchup in Sydney?
Vasiljevic on his way to the cup. Alpha's had good hands all afternoon. So the Sydney Kings and the New Zealand Breakers in a grand final rematch, this time in a play-in.
What an intriguing matchup. We saw the Kings just put an absolute demolition job on the Phoenix yesterday, but is that who they are? Was it the opposition, or have the Kings found something now in the past week that can be transferred to better opponents?
So how much do you take out of yesterday? Do you take anything out of yesterday's win by Sydney?
Basketball players are very high-strung, volatile people. The volatility quotient is really high. It only takes a little bit of confidence, Jack, to do great things as an individual and as a group. So I wouldn't rule those Kings out. They have enough talent there. They have length. They have physical attributes that are championship-like.
Cartwright for Cheatham. Bang! That is gonna leave a mark.
Wow, he jumped off a springboard and went up and spiked it with the right hand.
We know he can fly. That's one of his very best this season, Zylan Cheatham. The Breakers are aware of the margin. They push the ball quickly. Jackson Cartwright with the layup. It's back to 9, the difference.
Fantastic finish. 2 quick buckets in transition. It's not over.
5 is the magic number. That's what we started the day. If they go down New Zealand by less than 5, then the play-in will be at Spark Arena. Vasiljevic has other ideas. He misses. Galloway with a big O board.
And that's been the sign of the times for the Breakers. That inability to get that rebound and allowing the 36ers second bites at the apple, and it killed them. 14 offensive rebounds.
Here it is again.
First check.
Forehead on the rim. Say hello to my little friend.
Timeout New Zealand. The Harlem Globetrotters are headed to town. Don't forget to grab your tickets. They are coming to a city near you in 2024.
Parker Jackson Cartwright exhibiting some non-Globetrotter type activity out there with the referees.
No, you're not going to see that body language in the Harlem Globetrotters, are you? Well, does the margin get discussed here, Derek? Inside this snooze timeout, does Modi Mayor make them more aware of the number? Because they would know.
Yes.
But is it the emphasis of this timeout?
I think firstly, look, they have to be delighted with the fact that they are going to finish in the 6, okay? But then more specific, he wants them to finish this game on a good note. Obviously, you want to go out there and win, but I think right now, knowing that you're in, you got your back up against it with some injury concerns, and realistically, I can't see them making up those percentage points in these final 2 minutes as we look at that Mitsubishi Motors ladder. So I think they just want to finish tidy, knock down some shots, get on the plane, go home, regroup. And if a win comes out of that, so be it.
For that will help their cause.
Case in point, very well executed out of bounds play. The byproduct is 3 points. Now you're up the floor. Ooh.
That'll be 5 for the next start. His afternoon's done. I think Modi made it pretty clear on the way out that he didn't want him fouling.
Montas really hard on himself. And Modi Mayor, you see the good coaching. He scolded him initially, but once he recognized how upset Montas was at himself, he went over and consoled him.
Some extended pressure from New Zealand. McCarron behind the back. Another look at things second time around. Galloway no good. Rebound Cheatham. Jackson Cartwright for Glidden. He defers. Liafa back to Glidden. 3-ball goes. 5-point difference. The plot thickens at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre.
Initially, I thought PJC had made the wrong decision, but he saw that he had 2 shooters on the opposite side of the court. I thought maybe the pull-up 3 was the choice. Good patience here from Glidden. Wow. big 3-ball, 5-point game. Things getting a little tight.
Well, the Sydney Kings are watching this game and pondering what this all looks like. Illawarra watching this game, pondering what it all looks like as well.
But as I mentioned that last time out, the Breakers just need to come out and play good basketball. Now, they've still let up a couple of offensive rebounds, but on the offensive end, they've been able to kick the ball to shooters, execute in transition and broken play, and then when they're in structure, they've gotten good looks. Hence, this lead is down to 5. There's no need to rush now. You can play basic, orthodox, half-court defense and still get enough possessions to get yourself a chance to win this game. Now, right here, they're going to go up the floor.
Ooh, deflected. Did they get it over in time? They didn't.
Intelligent defensive decision-making there from the Breakers. They got a piece on the ball which slowed the 36ers' progress down, led to that eight-second violation.
A minute 20 remaining. Jackson Cartwright goes to work on Vasiljevic. Rattles out. And Abercrombie in the attempt to try and pinch that away.
I know PJC is the guy for the Breakers, but I think Coach Modi Mayor wanted that ball moved a little bit more on that last possession. He elected to go one-on-one, came up empty. So it's going to cost them potentially 2 points and about 20 seconds.
What an afternoon he's had. 24 points. He told us pre-game, Ruck. He came over and said that he was having a big one. He's delivered.
Well, there aren't many guys in the league that can talk the talk like he can, but then back it up.
3 no good for Jackson Cartwright. We're inside a minute remaining. Adelaide leading by 6. Loose ball, turnover. Glidden, 3 must go. Doesn't. And the officials might just have a look at this one to make sure of the call.
Relax.
Breakers got a great look there for Glidden.
I fuck up all my reviews.
So do we, Scotty.
Yep, don't worry about it. Off dash. Jack?
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Go, take your time.
And look, if this is Breakers' ball, they don't need to rush and get a 3. There's enough time to get a 2, cut it to 4, play good defense, perhaps force another turnover.
Reviewing.
I don't think this replay is, that angle's not the most conclusive one we've come up with.
It's tight, so they are going to take their time.
Now, the way PJC went after it, usually point guards, other than me, have a good understanding of who it came off of. So he went chasing as if it came off of the Breakers.
New Zealand ball. They trail by 6. Shooters all over the floor, one of them Glidden. Now back to Jackson Cartwright. Steps back, enormous! Parker Jackson Cartwright.
Big time hit off the bounce. Breakers, no defensive urgency. Almost got the basketball on the inbound.
Hey, guys. 6 seconds. 6 seconds to go on the clock. Let's go.
There he is from long range. Things have got very tense, extremely tense.
Oh my.
Abercrombie's jam doesn't go. High-level drama.
Now, there's no need to foul here. And speaking of fouls, I thought Abercrombie got fouled on the other end.
Through here, guys.
Walk away, please. Walk away. Technical foul.
And now we've got a technical foul
on Parker Jackson Cartwright, who was told to walk away and kept going.
Pass away, pass away.
And there's another one coming if he doesn't keep moving.
One technical.
Again, that Abercrombie dunk attempt, that's a tough one. Looked like there was contact. Tough break that it didn't go in.
On another day, foul or not, that'll drop. Instead, Vasiljevic makes it a two-possession game.
But still, that doesn't absolve the breakers of accountability. There was no need to foul. There was a 12-second differential shot clock to game clock. They had a trap over there in the corner. It was well set from their defensive perspective. They just lost their mind, committed the foul.
Trenton Flowers on screen. Free throws missed, and the time is now for New Zealand. Abercrombie from deep. Now they've got a big problem. Vasiljevic hemmed in and travels. Still time.
Plenty of time. And the way that Adelaide have handled pressure up the floor, there's no need for New Zealand to panic and feel like you got to foul when you get them in traps. I think they've had 3 or 4 turnovers in the final 2 minutes thus far.
They looking 3 or are they just looking any score here, New Zealand?
Best look available right away.
13.1 remaining. Liafa. That's no good. Adelaide get the ball back.
Excellent set executed. New Zealand were able to get a really good look at it. Unfortunately, like 27 other three-point attempts today, that one didn't go down. 23% from the three.
Modi Mayor is left to ponder what could have been. It's now all about Adelaide finding a safe passage. And Nick Marshall will shoot free throws to ice the result.
A lot of credit goes to Scotty Nennis for coming in here and just simplifying things, Jack. Getting back to basic basketball, simplifying rotations, focusing on player roles, and he will finish his coaching record this season 8-7. After 14 years out of the NBL as a head coach, last coach in 2010. Got to tip your cap to him. Very good job.
Has he done enough?
I believe so. Deserving of, as I mentioned before, I believe a 2-year run at it. He can put his own team together and see what he's able to do.
The 36ers are going to finish the season on a winning note. And in doing so, have sent the New Zealand Breakers to a play-in game against the Sydney Kings at Kudos Bank Arena. 76-70, the final result in the last game of the NBL 24 regular season.
Well, the Sixers over this run have been able to focus their direction offensively behind Dejan Vasiljevic and Isaac Humphries. And you see DJ is our Foot Locker player of the game. 25 points, 14 rebounds, and 4 assists. An outstanding performance. This guy has big-time game understanding and the ability to perform in that moment.
We are back to wrap it up on the other side of this. What a last day it's been. 76-70, the 36ers win on their home floor.
Sixers family, one last time, make some noise for your Adelaide 36ers!
Sixers family, as he makes his way off the Adelaide court for one last time, please give it up for Tom Abercrombie of the New Zealand Breakers. An incredible career, fantastic for basketball in Australia and New Zealand. All the best, Tom, thank you.
'76ers play the role of party pooper in the last game of the regular season. Winners today, 76-70 over the New Zealand Breakers. A crowd of 9,500 at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. And they're going to go home very happy, Derek Rucker.
And the Sixers did it on the back of outstanding defense and then also the individual brilliance of that man right there, Dejan Vasiljevic. He got it going late in the first quarter, and then once his confidence built, he was really able to knock down shots, create opportunities for his teammates. And more surprisingly, Jack, he came out of this game with 14 rebounds. We know what he can do offensively. It was a great effort by him to lead this Sixers team in their final home game.
So there are the final numbers. The shooting stats for New Zealand will probably be the one that comes back to haunt them, do you think?
No doubt. In particular, 8 of 36 from the three-point line. Like I said, a lot of that credit goes to that Sixers defense, but also the Breakers, you just didn't have the skill level today. We weren't able to knock shots down, whether that was due to playing on Friday night and having to come over here and get it together, and maybe it was just too much to ask on the day.
So that is how it all ended up. We told you from the start that every moment matters, right down to percentage between Sydney and New Zealand as well. Well done to the Illawarra Hawks. They're going to finish the regular season in 4th place as well. And United and Perth, they are the two teams to chase at the top of the table. And it all sets it up now for what's going to be an intriguing postseason.
It sure is, and if we look at the seeding qualifier, Wednesday, Feb 28, to open the doubleheader, the Jack Jumpers and the Hawks. Wow, what a matchup. Two of the form teams in the competition. Scott Ross v. Justin Tatum. Two informed coaches as well. They both got their teams playing at a high, high level.
Put Wednesday the 28th in your diary, a doubleheader to start off postseason. For Sydney and New Zealand, there's no tomorrow.
There isn't, and it's very interesting because we know the Kings don't play well against the Breakers, and the Breakers feel very confident traveling to Kudos Bank Arena and performing. However, they've got the Will McDowell-White injury. That's a concern, and also, how do they generate enough offensive scoring?
That's us done and dusted. We'll see you on the 28th, where every moment matters in the postseason. Thanks for being with us. This has been Sunday Hoops on a crazy old day in what's been a crazy old season in the Hungry Jacks NBL.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jacks and Bunnings Warehouse.
Yeah, mate, this is camera right.